SUTV will fill you in on my SUU voice.
And later, we'll let you know about the study abroad program in New Zealand. Stay tuned. Welcome to SUTV News. I'm Race Knutson.
And I'm Colson Warren. Southern Utah University Student Association is pushing their My SUU Voice campaign.
I am.
I am.
I am. I am.
I am.
I am SUU.
We are SUU. SUU.
SUU.
SUU. I am SUU. And I can make a difference.
SUSA is the voice of our students, and we want to hear your feedback. Submit a My SUU voice through the website, SUU portal, or the app.
For questions, go to the Student Involvement and Leadership Office in the Student Center, room 177.
Over the Thanksgiving break, fans of Walt Disney Studios got something to stuff their minds with. The major studio debuted the first trailer of their live-action remake of The Lion King, which is set to be released on July 19, 2019. Some of the cast will include Donald Glover as Simba, Beyonce Knowles Carter as Nala, Seth Rogen as Pumbaa, as well as James Earl Jones returning to voice the role of Mufasa. The movie has taken to some criticism, as some people say the movie is still considered animated because everything is made of CGI graphics. However, overall reaction to the movie has been as expected.
A recent study released by the Utah Public Health Indicator showed that less and less Utah teens are smoking. In 2017, it said that the smoking rates in Utah high schools has declined from 17% down to 3.8%. Although it is unclear how the use of e-cigarettes and vaporizers relates to the declining rates, the indicator stated that in 2017, more than 25% of students in 10th grade reported experimenting with vapes, while 10% have reported to have vaped regularly.
Coming up, we'll let you know about SUU Radio.
Don't go anywhere.
Oh, you got it. You know, since I got rid of my car, I really enjoy walking.
Okay. Got it. No?
Getting pulled over for buzz driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates.
Oh, you're home early.
You live with your mom?
That'll set your game back a few years. Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
So, I'm kind of new here, but I've noticed a trend. My human does this funny thing where she goes around and gets all my toys, and then she hides them in that basket by the door. You know, but it's always the same basket, and it's always in the same place. And then she acts so surprised when I find them, but, you know, she's putting them in the same basket. Again. It's like, hello? That's where you put it last time. You were the worst at hide and go seek.
When students at Skyridge High School in Lehi, Utah returned to school yesterday, they arrived to learn one of their teachers had unfortunately been arrested. Midvale police said that Chelsea Cook went to her ex-husband's house Sunday night and at some point shot and killed his current girlfriend. Cook arrived at the house to deliver cough medicine for one of her children who was staying with her ex at the time. At some point, she was asked to leave, but instead locked herself in the bathroom and called 911. Cook would later walk out of the bathroom and shoot Lisa Williams, the current girlfriend, in front of both of Cook's children. Alpine School District also learned that Cook was currently facing charges of domestic violence in front of her kids. Cook is currently being held on suspicion of aggravated murder.
Radio such as SUU's Thunder 91 has been around for decades, but could services like Spotify and Apple Music be bringing an end to it? Our reporter Jaden Lamphere has the story.
Radio has been one of the top forms of entertainment since the 1900s. They were the height of entertainment for decades. Now it seems to be slowly getting replaced by other forms of music media such as Spotify and Apple Music. Can this lead us to believe that radio is coming to an end? It does not seem likely. Cal Rollins, station manager of KSUU, had this to say.
I think that there will always be radio in one form or another. It will continue to evolve, just as it has in the 1950s with the advent of television, just as we began with AM radio and then FM.
According to the 2018 Infinite Dial study, 82% of this population 12 and older continue to listen to AM/FM radio in the automobile today, despite the onslaught of a tremendous amount of competition. The thing that is showed to be keeping radio listening so high is its stronghold on providing local information, which is something that other music services just cannot provide. Talk shows have split off into a world of their own, which doesn't generally get recognized as originating from radio. Podcasting is something that has been trending for years, but podcasts have a strange familiarity to them. In a way, talk shows were the original podcasts. At this point, radio still seems to be a strong pillar of the entertainment industry, providing things that other services just can't. With radio still being put in every automobile, it seems that radio is here to stay. This is Jaden Lamphere with SUTVNews.
A male missionary for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints has unfortunately passed away in the South Africa Missionary Training Center. According to church spokesman Daniel Woodruff, Zane Lamping, a 19-year-old from Moapa, Nevada, collapsed while exercising at the MTC in Johannesburg. He was taken to a local hospital where he later died. Lamping had only entered the MTC a week ago on November 22nd.
A St. George woman is facing multiple charges after police say she gave two minors marijuana in exchange for a ride to Taco Bell and then tried to pay for the meals using a fake $100 bill. Tasha Lane Jennings was found only a few blocks away from the Taco Bell with two juvenile drivers only minutes after police received a call about a fake bill being used at the drive-thru. During the traffic stop, officers allegedly found marijuana in the car, where they then cited Jennings and the two juvenile drivers.
Isn't that just crazy?
I mean, I don't know what the kids were thinking in that situation, or, you know, she obviously was probably on drugs already.
And did you say that was in St. George?
That was in St. George.
That's 45 minutes away.
Pretty close by.
I mean, you would think like you would hear that like Florida, Georgia,
you're like, not
East
close
Coast,
to home, not close to
East
here,
Coast, but 45 minutes away from Cedar City.
Even in the Alpine School District, I bet parents are very alarmed at that situation with the shooting that took place.
Yeah.
You know, with that, and then we weren't understanding what the missionary, what he died from, but we'll have to fill you in more on that to come. How's the weather looking over there, Bailey?
Coming up, I'll let you know if this cold weather is sticking around. Stay tuned.
Every day across America, excess food is gathered by a network of good people at local food banks, giving hope to millions of children who struggle with hunger. They've earned their wings, and you can too. Together, we can solve child hunger. Support Feeding America and your local food bank at feedingamerica.org.
I'm a teacher. Let me tell you what I make. I make learning a privilege, not a chore, and frustration a tool, not an obstacle. I make working hard seem easy and giving up impossible. I make an old subject feel like a fresh thought and unconventional methods common. I'm a teacher. I make more.
Welcome to your Cedar City weather. I'm Bailey Dyer. Why don't we get right into it and we'll take a look at how the weather's going right here in Utah. So currently it is 54 degrees here in Cedar City, which is pretty good weather. Not too hot, it could be a little bit warmer. Not too cold, all depends. Precipitation is at 0%, so it doesn't look like we'll be having any chance of rain or snow tonight, which is very good. Humidity is at 14% and the wind speeds are 18 miles per hour. So, as my predecessor would say, it's a decent time to go fly a kite. Yeah, right. Let's look into how the weather's looking around the state. So around the state, it looks like pretty much everywhere has gotten a little bit of the winter cold snap. Looking up here in Logan and Ogden, which are respectively at 38 and 44 degrees. Down to the capital, Salt Lake at 45. Provo, 48. Vernal at 35. Coming down a little bit further south, it seems like things are a little bit warmer as to be expected, with Richfield at 49 degrees, Price at 38, Moab at 45. Once again, Cedar City at 54, and St. George at a balmy 58, definitely warmer than other places, so that's great for them. Let's take a look into how our weather is looking for this week here in Cedar City. So it looks like today we're doing really well. Once again, 54 degrees, sunny weather, as you can see. Getting to be a little bit chilly tonight, so you're going to want to keep that winter wear out as we go into the week. As you can notice, winter weather will be continuing with rain on Wednesday in the form of scattered showers, and then leading into Thursday where we have 90% chance of rain. All rounding up into Friday where we actually do have a chance of snow with 50% in between snow and rain, probably a little bit of slush going into your morning commute. But you shouldn't be getting too worried. We're scheduled to have a cold but sunny day on Saturday as we go into the weekend. So overall, weather in the high 40s, low 50s, and then nights a little bit cooler, right above or around freezing. So that's great for us. All right, that's all I got for you guys. Back to you at the desk.
Well, it's sad to hear that Cedar City might be getting its first snowfall of the year.
Yes, well, last year, if you recall, it didn't even snow at all during fall semester. I mean, most people had gone home for Christmas break and it didn't snow until the following year. So it doesn't look like we'll have a repeat, unfortunately. I'm not a big snow person. I've said it many times.
We got to look forward to, though. I mean, there's pretty much only 1 week of school left after this week.
It's true.
I mean, so we're going to have that snowfall. Everybody's going to have 1 more week, and then finals week, which I only have 2 finals, and then I'm home.
Well,
that's
lucky you.
Yeah.
That's really nice.
Yeah.
And probably as is with most of Utah, the bipolar weather we have will probably melt.
Yeah,
shortly after it falls. It'll still be pretty chilly, but we'll, hopefully we won't have to scrape our sidewalks too much before the finals is over.
Sidewalks, windows, especially car windows. I mean, that would just.
Those are frosting over for the last couple of weeks. They've been pretty.
I mean, for me, my earliest class is 12 and 1 o'clock. So if I had to go outside at 8 o'clock in the morning, no, I have not.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's fortunate.
Yeah, I know it might be different for especially a lot of SUU kids.
I mean,
having
my earliest
at 8
is
or
at 9, which is a decent time for me. I'm not a morning person, but it's decent.
Yeah.
Well, here's a quick look at what's coming up next in sports.
Coming up on SUTV, we've got sports from all over the state of Utah. Stay tuned.
Travel is part of the American way of life.
When we're on vacation, we keep an eye out for anything that looks out of place.
Miss your bag.
When we travel from city to city, we pay attention to our surroundings.
Everyone plays a role in keeping our community safe.
Whether you're traveling for business or pleasure, be aware of your surroundings. If you see something suspicious, say something to local authorities.
Really? Buzz, what's up, man? You left some leaves burning out here.
Yeah, I just came in just for a second.
Come on, man. If it's too hot to touch, it's too hot to leave. You could torch the whole neighborhood.
It's a good point there, Smokey.
9 out of 10 wildfires are caused by humans.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
For 3 months, I was being treated for high blood pressure and migraines, which were actually the symptoms. The cause was kidney disease. If you were a member of one of those high-risk groups, I would have your kidney function checked. Early detection can prevent further kidney damage. It was amazing even to my doctor how much diet impacted my personal disease. The power to reduce risk for kidney disease is in your hands. I just feel that my whole life has come back to me.
Think you found every hazard out here today? Think again. The spot you missed could be a killer. That spot on your skin could be skin cancer. If you're a man over 50, you're in a group most likely to develop skin cancer, including melanoma, the kind that kills one person every hour. That's why your best shot is to check for a spot. It's easy. Follow through and check your skin. Go to spotskincancer.org to find out how. A message from the American Academy of Dermatology.
Welcome to SUTV Sports. I'm Kurt Meekum. The SUU men's basketball team looked to stay perfect as they traveled to Vegas to take on the UNLV Rebels last Friday night. Dwayne Morgan scored 12 points to help SUU stay in the game, while Cameron Oluyenton contributed 8 points for the T-Birds. Guard Brandon Better hit 2 of 4 three-pointers for SUU in the contest, while Jacob Calloway was SUU's leading scorer with 14 points on the night coming off the bench. The Rebels would ultimately hold off the T-Birds 76-71, dropping SUU to 3-1 on the season. The men's team will return to action on Thursday night as they host the 2-4 San Diego Christian College Seahawks. Derek Novsek leads the Seahawks, scoring an average of 28 points per game, while SU hosted the Seahawks last season and won 87-68. As for college football, the state had their Holy War take place this past weekend when the BYU Cougars traveled north to Salt Lake City to take on the Utah Utes. The Utes would once again be without their star QB Tyler Huntley due to an injury, so Jason Shelley would get the start for the Utes, while Zach Wilson, a freshman QB, started for the Cougs. The first half was extremely one-sided in favor of the opposite team you would actually think. The Cougs came out ready to play, putting up a huge 20-0 lead going into the half. But partway through the third quarter, the Utes defense would put up the first points of the game. Julian Blackman would put the Utes on the board with a pick six, and that is when momentum shifted. The Utes held the Cougars to only 7 second-half points, all while putting up an additional 28 on top of the 7 from Blackman, giving the Utes a 35-27 win. Even with the loss, Zach Wilson still put up an impressive 204 yards against a tough Ute defense. Matt Hadley had 2 touchdowns himself on 64 yards rushing. The Utes halfback Armand Shine scored 2 touchdowns himself, while Shelley had a rushing and passing touchdown. The Utes now have won the Deseret First duel for 8 consecutive years and end the season with an overall record of 9-3 and are likely to move up in the national rankings from number 17 this week. Over to the Aggies, they took on Boise State in Boise, looking to close the season with an 11-game win streak and secure a spot in the Mountain West title game. The Aggies offense proved to be impressive once again as quarterback Jordan Love posted 363 yards. The game started out pretty even, with Boise State leading at the half 17-14. However, the Broncos would pull away in the second half thanks to 200 rushing yards and 3 touchdowns posted by running back Alexander Madison. The Aggies would score 10 points in the fourth quarter to try to mount a comeback, but it wasn't enough for the win. The Aggies would go on to lose 33-24 to finish the season 10-2 and will likely fall out of this week's college football playoff rankings. In other news with college football, the Big Sky Conference had 4 teams selected to the FCS playoffs. Weber State was selected as the number 2 overall seed and will host the Southeast Missouri State Redhawks this weekend in Ogden. Eastern Washington was selected as another top 4 seed, while UC Davis was selected as a top 8 seed to receive a bye in the first round. The Montana State Bobcats were the last Big Sky team to make the playoffs this season. SU, of course, did not make the playoffs as they finished with a 1-10 record. The SU women's team now looks to bounce back from a tough road trip as they take on BYU tonight in the America First Events Center. The Lady T-Birds had a 3-game road trip where they played UC Riverside, Irvine, and Davis. After a heartbreaking loss against Riverside, the T-Birds struggled the remainder of the trip, where they gave up a total of nearly 200 points compared to only scoring 153 themselves. The trip took place after they started the season with a win against the San Diego Toreros. Under their new head coach, Tracy Sanders, the T-Birds look to secure their second win of the season against the Cougars, and the game will start at 6:30 tonight in the AFEC. That's all I've got time for today, so back to you guys at the desk.
Well, man, that has been a crazy week for sports, with
Absolutely.
Thanksgiving. Watching the Cowboys and Redskins, of course, that's always a good rivalry for me.
Absolutely. Cowboys and Redskins. It kind of reminds me of that Macklemore song. If you remember that one, is it America or USA? He kind of talks about it.
No, I think so. But are you a Cowboys fan or are you Redskins?
I'm neither. I'm a Patriots fan,
Oh, okay.
which they won on Sunday. They
True.
beat. They played the New York Jets, and it was like 27-9.
I think everybody can beat the New York Jets, but that's just my opinion.
I mean, the Cleveland Browns. They had, they didn't win a single game last season.
Yeah.
They ended their 20-game losing streak against the New York Jets. So
there we go.
I wouldn't want to be in their cleats, so to speak, after that game, losing to the Cleveland Browns. But and then the Y versus the U, the Holy War.
Oh, man.
Probably the most popular televised sport in Utah during that time.
That was absolutely insane of how, we look at halftime and we see BYU up almost 2 touchdowns or even over 2 touchdowns. I can't remember. But then BYU fans looking so hopeful coming into third quarter, but then they just get demolished when it comes that third and fourth quarter when Utah put up over probably 28 points, I think it was.
Yeah, they pulled ahead to end up having a 35-27, I think was the final score. And, it's almost more painful, to have your team dominate so aggressively in 3 quarters and then to just get squashed in 1 quarter. That's pretty humiliating.
It's very unfortunate, to be honest. Even like one of my companions from my mission is actually a linebacker for BYU.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, and so I was messaging him, man, I'm sorry about the loss. It's definitely got to be tough to be a BYU fan this week. Well, thanks for the update, Kurt.
And we'll be right back.
Listen up. Each year, hundreds of promising research studies go unfunded for breast cancer, for lung cancer, every cancer. The American Cancer Society has been behind nearly every breakthrough in recent history. But there's still more work to do. So let's make sure that no research is silenced. Let's make noise. Let's make noise. Yeah. And let's finish the fight.
Toxic chemicals and carcinogens are leaching into the environment. It's happening right where we live, work, and play. Everywhere. Cigarette butts are toxic waste. Let's stop the toxic litter. Learn more at rethinkbutts.org.
I'm hungry. I can't see the board.
Good morning, class. Everyone ready to learn today?
Of course they aren't ready. Across America, health barriers keep millions of disadvantaged school children from learning. Children's Health Fund is working to remove those barriers. But to really change the odds for these kids, we need your help. To find out how you can give every child a chance to be healthy and ready to learn, visit childrenshealthfund.org today.
Life is made of moments. Family. A drunk driver could take it all away. Keep your family safe on the road, because after all, nothing is more beautiful. Mothers Against Drunk Driving. Keep your family safe.
For those looking for movies on YouTube, the media site has announced that they have put 99 ad-supported movies on their website. Movies such as Rocky, Legally Blonde, The Terminator, and The Pink Panther, along with many others, are available to watch for free, but will have advertisements break the movie up about every 15 minutes. The popular site is also looking into other deals with advertisers that would essentially make a movie available on the advertiser's dime. Although the selection seems small, YouTube could put more movies up soon with advertisement dollars with their almost 2 billion active monthly users.
A brand new trip to New Zealand is underway, and my co-anchor Colton Warren has the story.
Toa Tawa, Kyle Bishop, and Gavin Feller, 3 of SUU's professors, are taking a study abroad trip to New Zealand this upcoming summer. The brand new trip will start May 8th and will end 2 weeks later on the 21st of 2019. Professors Bishop and Tawa are a part of the English department on campus, and Professor Feller is a part of the communications department. Professor Feller had this to say concerning the new study abroad.
It's open to any student, so you don't have to be a freshman or a junior. It doesn't matter. You could be a senior, you could be a super senior. The idea is that we're willing to make it work for whatever you want to do.
Bishop and Tawa are more focused on the writing aspect of the trip, which 2 of the courses they offer on the trip are Lord of the Rings themed. Other courses include intercultural communication and film production that will also be focusing on a Lord of the Rings theme with Gavin Feller, in which case you don't want to miss. On the trip, you won't just be visiting the film landmark itself. Students will also have a chance to do several different things.
Whitewater rafting one day, several hikes, some to some really pretty waterfalls, some visits to some beaches. There's a really cool beach that has hot springs on the beach, Hobbiton, where the Lord of the Rings set, and also some cultural events and local places that have meaning for Indigenous people.
And even though the trip will cost over $3,000, Tawa says that you truly do not want to miss the opportunity to do such an amazing feat like this. Anyways, my name is Colton Warren, reporting to you from SUTV News. Well,
it looks fun.
Yeah, it definitely looks fun. But I want to start off with, how was everybody's Thanksgiving?
I went broke. I spent more money than I actually have.
Oh, yeah, Black Friday, huh?
Oh, my gosh. And it's not even Black Friday now, because stores open on Thanksgiving. And so
it's true. Most people eat dinner and then go straight to the store.
I go straight to Walmart pretty much.
Yeah, and I did that too. I went straight to Kohl's, which I found out I'm actually adulting now because I had to buy stuff for my room. It was the weirdest moment.
You had to buy stuff for yourself.
Yes. Oh my gosh! I was like, this
living
is awful.
things, not just toys and whatnot.
When you get to
I did not buy living things.
When you get to check things off your list, that's like a fist bump.
Well, I hope everybody feasted well this
right
Thanksgiving.
There.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah, turkey and cranberry sauce. Oh, yeah.
Oh, man.
But anyways,
thank you guys for tuning in. That's all we have time for today. I'm Kurt Meekum.
I'm Bailey Dyer.
I'm Colton Warren.
And I'm Race Knutson. We leave you tonight with a trailer for the upcoming documentary, Running for Hope.
I'm so over this. I'm ready to be done. Regardless of what happens in your life, you've got to have the grit, the mental fortitude to just power through it. And so doing something like this, I think, teaches grit.
You cannot develop strength by living a life of ease. Someone can give you gifts of things, possessions, but nobody can give you a gift of character.
If you're struggling, if you're ever wondering if you can do it, man, I don't know if I can do it. I'm here to give you that hope. I know you can.
Until you've pushed yourself as far as you can go, and then pushed yourself a little further, and a little further, that's when you start discovering what's in you.